So our next problem, which is where I left off in the previous video, our next problem is this. So this, as my friend explained to me, involves both product rule and chain rule. So you use product rule to determine your setup, but in order to solve the last part, you have to use chain rule. So I'll explain what that means as we go. But I'm going to remind us of what product rule even is, because I know we're still probably struggling with that. So, product rule, let me get rid of this question so y'all can see. So product rule is just F times G prime plus G times F prime. Doesn't really matter what order those are in, as long as there's one prime and one non-prime, and one F and one G. So in this case, our problem is h of x equals 8x times negative 4x cubed plus 8 all squared. So we're going to set up all of our possible things that we could use. So F is just your first part of the equation, the first set of parentheses. There we go. All right. F prime is the derivative of this, which is just 8 in this case. You can drop it out a different way, but we're not going to do that. It's much harder. I don't completely understand it, so I'm not going to try to explain it to y'all. And then we have our G, which is all of this, and where we use our chain rule is for G prime. It's right here. So our G prime is going to be just like we did in chain rule, except we're only using this information right here. So it's going to be the derivative of the whole thing. So our 2 comes out front. We multiply it times the inside. 2 minus 1 is just 1. We don't have to put understood ones. But since we're doing chain rule here, we still have to multiply that by the derivative of just the inside of this set. So that's going to be negative 12x squared. That is your G prime. This entire thing is your G prime. Okay? Now we're going to set it up in order to solve. We're going to set this up in product rule format. This right here. Okay? So, and I'm going to use my colors just so everybody can see what I'm doing. So 8x, so F times our G prime, and I'm going to keep my parentheses around everything just because it makes your life a little easier. So 8x times 2 times negative 4x cubed plus 8 times, wrong color, times negative 12x squared plus our G, which is our negative 4x cubed plus 8 all squared. Technically that would be like that, times our f prime. So we can rearrange that and make it a little prettier. Specifically for this last bit, so this last bit would just change to 8 times negative 4x cubed plus 8 all squared. Everything else would stay the same. So all of this would just drop down here. That should be what it wants. So we're going to go ahead and try it and find out for sure. I'm going to try it with the 8 in front of the negative 4x. So, okay. So 8x times, I forget, I don't have to click the second parentheses, 2 times negative 4x to the third plus 8. And I forgot a parentheses when I was working it. Times negative 12x squared plus 8 times, like I said, I would rather do too many parentheses than not enough. Too many won't impact your problem. Too few will. All right, that should be the answer to our problem, which is really stupid long, and I understand, and it's dumb. This should be as far as you can change it. As far as I know. It is correct. Thankfully, because I didn't want to rework that, to be completely honest with you guys. All right, next problem. Okay. So, it is estimated that t years from now, the population of a city will be p of t, so the population of t equals 30 times 60 plus 5t all squared minus 1500t. So this is going to be dumb. But we're going to try it. I'm going to work it on a different page so that I don't mess this up for you guys. And actually, I'm going to also put it into Pathway just to be sure. I need to find the derivative. That didn't help me one bit. Okay. I'm gonna try that again. And I'm using Wolfram Alpha because it makes more sense to me the math way, and I've already paid for it. So, there's that. I'm actually going to stop the video again here. We will come back to.